Okay, I figure I should just go live because I'm sitting here chit-chatting with a lot of people in here anyway. But when I talk, it's a little harder to read the, the chat. But I can still read it. And I will still try. So, Matt, if you go to, I'll send a link real quick in this chat box to my community page. And that is how you, oh, Lord. That's how you do, okay, I'm frozen now. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. Anyway, in the chat box, I put a link in the very, very beginning. And in the very beginning, on the link, it showed you to go to my community page. Gosh, I don't know what's going on, but it's messing with me, guys. I may have to close this out and try again. But okay, here we go. Now it's working. Okay, woo, phew. Anyway, I'll share it again on the community page. There's a raffle currently. I want to fill it before I start the next one because otherwise it gets confusing. So there's the link. And I'm just going to have to pop the chat out again and see why it messed up. That was strange. Looks like it's working now. All right, yay. So tonight, Matt already guessed it. I call it the eye in the sky, and that's for a reason, guys. I mean, that's when you look at music, it tells you a lot about. Here, let me show this this windowed, by the way. There we go. When you look at music, it tells us a lot, and the reason you know that is because the lyrics have been talking about stuff we all now know. And you can see a lot of that when you start to really pay attention now. You just can't help it. You just see it. So, Windsor, all Abrahamic religions are a trap. I guess I have to look up what an Abrahamic religion is, but I think religions are generally a problem. I think that Christianity isn't a religion, but there's a lot of Christian religions that came from people who follow Christ. And so, anyway, here's the raffle for this awesome MS-70. This is a perfect mint condition Silver Eagle, and it's got the Montana label on it, and only our company got those. So every state they're going to be doing. And I've only got 3 spots filled, so it's $12 a spot. Just go to PayPal and pay $12. Tell me what number you want. Or go to Cash App. And you can see this right here. If you can't see it, then I'll type it in. But if you're there, if you can see, if you're looking, that's what it is. I got 10 spots, so 7 spots left. And whoever wins that will get a spot on the gold satellite. Whoever wins the gold satellite gets a spot on the half-ounce gold, which is $100 a spot, guys. So I've only got 4 of those left. So the faster I fill up the silver, the faster I fill up gold. Thank you for being here. Hi, guys. As a reminder, if you don't want to get in on a raffle, but you want to help me out, there's always the super chat. And that's fine because I have to get so much money before YouTube even pays me that money. And if it's not at $100, they don't pay me. So the super chat's fine. However, they do take 30%, and so I have a patron, which is Lady Liberty. Actually, what it is it's patreon.com/Lady Liberty 17, but this is the username with the _7K. But if you were looking for it, you'd say patreon.com/Lady Liberty 17 with no underscore. And just a reminder, I put up a new post on that Connor guy, and I'll talk about him one more time. But before I talk about that, the reason I'm calling this Eye in the Sky is I was having a conversation with a friend earlier, and we were talking about how he had an insurance company that said, if you want insurance from us, then you are going to need to get this GPS tracking thing if you want a better deal. Otherwise, we're going to increase your rate. And he already had insurance with them, so he had a rate going with them. If you do, and they said, if you do this, we only charge you $3 a month. But if you don't do it, we're going to raise your rate $18 a month. So luckily he was smart and he wanted to look into it. So he checks out this GPS tracking thing. And of course, the number of things it looks at how fast you brake, how much you brake, how slowly you brake, how fast you speed up and, accelerate. How fast you drive. I don't know what else it can see. I don't know if it can see Windsor, you can believe what you want. I'm not getting upset. I'm just asking for clarification, and I'm responding, and I hope that's okay. Because it should be okay from every side. Anyway, I mean, it's okay. We can still pray for you, regardless. But it might, I don't know if it can see red lights or if it can see like what's on your phone, because it has to be a phone app too, guys. It's not just a tracker that you put in your car. You can still help me with my current PC situation. I asked if you'd email me. Nobody's getting offended here, unless you are. None of us are. We're fine. So it has to be an app on your phone. And, oh, by the way, it looks like you can track all these things. You can track heavy equipment, shipments, people, field equipment, drones, fleet, and your vehicles. And it goes on your phone, so you probably have to give it access to your photos. You probably have to give it access to your contacts, or you will without knowing that that's what you're doing. And so if you're doing this, stop. If you're trying to get better insurance money from your company, stop. Because I'm going to tell you, this stuff is gathering everything it possibly can. Now, I bet most of you probably already know that. You're probably not trying to be part of the system. I will tell you that I wouldn't have thought about it. If my insurance company was like, you're going to save this much money, all you have to do is get an app. I'm not saying in the last year, but maybe a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, I would have been like, oh, yeah, sure, if it's going to drop my insurance. And I wasn't worried about what they track. I mean, I'd heard about it here. And I had started to see that stuff would pop up on my advertisements just because I talked about it near my phone. And so some of this stuff they're not able to hide anymore. But I was noticing that. So I'm glad you're here, Gina. Thank you, Sunshine and Ben and Windsor. I'm glad you're here too, and everyone, and Reed Romans and everyone else. So when you think about all that it has access to on you, and you might not even know it, or you might think, no, I only do this kind of thing with my GPS, or I don't do it with my GPS. You're smart enough, good. But you might not know that you've accepted to some of the, if you don't read, who reads all this stuff like I accept. Well, what if it's in there that it has access to other things, whether you agree to it or not? Because now we know that Google still follows you, even if you take it off your phone. Or Facebook does, one of the two, or both probably. And so that brings me to Amazon, which has Alexa and Ring. So look, you can buy this together. Now, I can't believe that Ring is still out there for sale, because this article, Ring lets employees watch customer videos, and not just that, guys. It wasn't just customer videos. They were like listening in. You can, this whole article, I can pop it in there if you guys want to see it. But the whole article talks about that employees could listen to other employees. Now, I'm sure that's only the half truth, because I'm guessing that they could listen to more than just the employees. I bet anyone who owns one, it could happen. I know that if anyone owned one of these, that they would be able to listen, or somebody would be listening into them. No, I'm not. I told you guys no. Sorry. No, you don't. So,
Yeah, we do.
my kids are being rude. I got to take away their privileges. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Sorry. So anyway, this is from The Verge, and it talks about they could listen into each other, hear what was going on, and even see video from any computer at home or anywhere. And you can have the article there. I showed it to you. But this is crazy to me that it's still selling and that people are still buying Alexas when we know that they can not only put them in the dryer when... Okay. But not only are they listening, they're recording. And so people are still buying them up, though. So that's why they're selling. So hang on 2 seconds, guys. I know you can hang on. All right. So there's the article on that. And then what it brought me to thinking about is this particular thing, which is companies that want to give you protection. Okay, so we're talking about VPNs now, right, guys? So you have to be really careful. It's when it comes to finding a company to protect you, you don't know what they're doing with your information, because I guarantee you they are inside what you're doing. Whether they're coming through a back door with an encryption key or getting access to your computer because you said, okay, go ahead. It's creepy. So this company is called Carbon Black. And I've been noticing that when I look up some of these companies like Carbon Black and Quantum Black and this other one we're going to look at that talks about black, it's called Black Cube, that they're talking about internet protection, a lot of them. And I went and looked at a long time ago. I can't do it tonight because guys, you'll think I'm nuts. But I went through this Carbon Black and I looked it up on Wikipedia, and then I looked up all the sources on it. And they were all different internet and computer protective software companies' solutions. So why hexagons, or if they're on the up and up, and why, I don't know, why Carbon Black? Especially when you think of what I'm going to be talking about, which is the black gold of the Black Cube, and you guys are going to understand this more after that video comes out, which I have the first 3 pages typed up before my computer crashed last night. And so one of the companies that uses Carbon Black, by the way, is what is it that, oh my gosh, I can't think. Chick-fil-A. So I found that interesting. I'm like, why Chick-fil-A? I wonder, right? What does it matter? And these are the questions that go through my head. Like, I'm not sitting here going Chick-fil-A's got some super strange ulterior motive, but I'm thinking, why is Chick-fil-A? Oh, nothing. It's all good news. I'm helping you guys out. This is not about being afraid. This is preparedness. None of this is for you to be scared of. There's nothing to be scared of, guys. Not one thing. Not one thing in this world. Because we have God on our sides. So what we have here is, what I do is I go through in my mind, like, if they're associated with Netflix and some of these other companies that might not be questionable, what is Chick-fil-A doing on board with this company? Well, that doesn't seem good, since they're supposed to be this Christian right-wing huge business place. And you could say, oh, well, it's a coincidence. That is a good question. I wonder where Huma is. I hope in Gitmo or dead. But anyway, you could say, well, it's just a coincidence. Chick-fil-A doesn't know. Well, I'll guarantee you they know, because the guy that signed up with Carbon Black is a computer technology wizard. This isn't the whole thing. I don't know where it is, but they had a whole story with, the Q&A with this Jeffrey Cole guy. I guess you have to download it. I'm not going to do that. It says read on, but it's not there. So the guy talks about his history in technology and his love for it, and how he was a hacker in college. So I guarantee you Chick-fil-A's Jeffrey Cole knows exactly what Carbon Black is and who they are. Now, what are they and who are they? I don't know exactly. I just know that they're giving us solutions for our internet problems, and they're looking for people who hack into your company. Domino's is on there. Netflix is using them. But what are they doing with that information? Are they selling it? Are they sharing it? I mean, they would be selling it, but I mean, are they sharing it with each other? And that's how you get to be a partner. Here's how you be a partner. You got to share all this information with these guys, and whatever you get. So it gets a little weirder. And there is a company called blackcube.com. Now, blackcube.com was very interesting to me, because that's what I'm doing my video on. And the black cube is Saturn. It is what they worship. They believe it's the Philosopher's Stone, and that the black cube is going to bring the ascension for whoever doesn't believe in God and whoever wants to become their own God. Name it. Freemasons, Satanists, Luciferians. And here's the thing, Windsor, you don't have to believe in Satan for Satan to be real, and you also don't have to believe in Satan for Satanists to think Satan is real. So it doesn't really matter what you believe when it comes to what people are out there trying to get done in the name of Satan, right? Think about that. So the Philosopher's Stone is like the ascension, the power, it makes lead into gold, all the alchemy stuff. And is my mic not on? You guys, what's going on? My mic's not on? I can't yell at the kids? I have to yell at I wasn't even yelling. Yeah, I know my mic is on when I'm talking to my kids, guys. I didn't turn you guys off to talk to them, but it's an issue that we have to have. If you don't like it, I'm sorry. I have to have a conversation with them, and I didn't turn the mic off to do that. So, sorry. Whatever. Somebody said no Q news. I don't cover Q, but if you want Q news, Stephen, 8chan's down. So, I don't know. And silver is still at a good price. I'll talk about silver. I just talked about silver. I talked about this raffle I have going right here for an MS7D Silver Eagle with the Montana label with the grizzly bear in there, and it's beautiful. It's only $12 a spot. All you got to do is pay $12 to my PayPal or my Cash App, and you get a spot, and you get some silver in your hands, because I got other silver I'm coming up. I got a bullet I'm going to raffle. I've got Darth Vader I'm going to raffle. I got a lot of good stuff I'm going to raffle. So, I love you guys, but I'm sorry if you didn't like me. Trust me, that was not yelling at the kids. That's not yelling. And I mostly don't yell. So blackcube.com, very interesting. They are litigators. And they have done some interesting litigation for cybersecurity. So they are over 70 countries, blah, blah, blah. But what it makes me... I can't keep up with what you guys are saying. Anyway, what it makes me think is that they're all connected, right? There's a connection between all these companies. And I'm going to talk about this one in just a second, but Brennan hired McKinsey and Company in 2015. McKinsey and Company has a sister company called Quantum Black. Quantum Black is the quantum computer, in my opinion. They needed to run huge amounts of data in a short amount of time, and only a quantum computer can do that, or a quantum light computer, or half quantum, half binary. I'm not really sure what it completely consists of. Okay, anybody? I can see the chat. I'm confused, but that's okay. I'm going to try not to clarify. So anyway, this company talks on cutting edge analytical skills. Cutting edge is Israel. This is Israelites, by the way. And harvesting in the cyber world. Black Cube has developed innovative tools and methodologies to handle massive amounts of data. They unearth useful information for our clients and map all potential sources of interest by trawling, that's a great word, I guess, the deep web, and harvesting. They trawl and harvest that are typically in accessible areas of the internet, such as the dark web. Okay, it's kind of creepy, but it kind of also makes me think of CDAN, where there's some lawyer on there that gives out information. I don't know. But anyway, is it connected to... not Brennan, but McKinsey and Company that does the same type of work, data analysis with high amounts of data analysis. And then you look at Carbon Black, that is also doing data analysis for your big, huge company. I mean, Netflix and Chick-fil-A for cybersecurity. And now you have the litigators here with Carbon Black. So I want to look at some of their case studies. I clicked on a couple earlier, and I think there's only two. Deep due diligence was one of them. And I know you guys hear it. I can see that you guys can hear me talking to my kids. I know the mic is on. I don't turn it off to talk to my kids. They didn't agree. They didn't continue to do what we agreed to, so I had to have a talk with them. I think that's pretty normal. I know you guys think it is too. All right. My life stuff isn't scripted, guys. The kids are around. There's no one to watch them. Deep due diligence. So Black Cube was contracted to prove the unsuitability of one of the individuals behind a hostile takeover attempt of the management of a major company. This individual had a large business structure in the European Union, blah, 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 who cares? A full forensic analysis of the individual's company structure. So they had created some company. This individual created some company, and these litigators came in for some reason to look at them. So they were able to do a forensic analysis And the company structure of the it's an individual's company. And they did a forensics analysis with all of their subsidiaries related to entities and key players. And following the process, Black Cube identified several red flags within the individual's company structure and launched operations to examine each of them for tax-related misconduct. Basically, in the end, it looks like they found that it was a shell company, that all the offices were empty, and they were ineligible for these tax benefits. And so then it says further to this, Black Cube identified a key witness with evidence of multiple fraud schemes throughout the subject's companies, including carousel fraud in Cyprus. This witness was brought to the courts, and his testimony was accepted. Finally, Black Cube worked closely with a forensics accountancy expert and showed that the company's group's ownership structure stood in direct contravention of several public statements that were large scale. Black Cube obtained legal opinions from 2 highly respected global law firms to support this. So basically, they were found guilty. That's interesting. They were able to do forensics work. And then there was another one, I think that's this one. Investigating into a detrimental financial campaign. Let me see if this is the one. Yes. So, just going to skip to the end. Using gathered intelligence together with extensive open source research, the team was able to diagnose the nature and significance of large-scale procedures within the financial market. Additionally, the intelligence gathered from the sources proved invaluable to solving the case, with details provided in regards to exact dates, conversations, motives, and internal dealings and consequences that pointed directly at those responsible for the campaign. The campaign was up here. It was a negative campaign in the financial industry that eventually led to a downgrade by international credit rating agencies. So it doesn't give you details of who they were right there. I guess they're not allowed to do that. What I find the most interesting is here. The Black Cube team identified 2 specific individuals who had acted separately but in tandem in regards to the attack. It was also shown that both of these key individuals continue to harbor negative opinions in regards of the client's financial dealings, and both remain in key positions of influence. Black Cube's findings provided the client with insight regarding the way his financial dealings were being perceived by the public and the market, allowing him to carefully consider his actions. Okay, that wasn't exactly the one I wanted to do, but that one is very interesting because it's showing you that, my Twitter is, my Twitter's down. Twitter, I got put in jail for a week, if anyone's wondering about my Twitter, or if you're talking about somebody else, sorry. I can see the chat, by the way. I just can't. Yes, I'll do spot number 1. All right. And I'll put Matt in spot number 1 real quick. So this company is got the ability to now legally go in and do this, what I think is quantum computing data analysis. Oh, I got to find the one that said, it was very interesting because there was the one case study that mentioned, must have been this identification of fraud. No, that's not it. Oh, the employee data leakage. Okay, I remember. This is it. This one's very interesting, guys, because it's showing that they can go in under some kind of scrutiny with probably not even telling employees. And I'm not saying it's not good. I don't know. That's why if somebody's like, don't you have any good news? Maybe this is good news. Maybe these guys are good guys. I doubt it, though, because they're called Black Cube, which is what Satanists worship. So they were contracted to investigate a data leakage. After identifying the sources of leaks amongst the client's employees and categorizing them into expanding circles of risk, see, they get to do this. They get to categorize and lump or whatever based on whatever they decide are the risks. Black Cube proactively engaged in areas of a high likelihood of leaking information, and Black Cube operators also monitored a broad range of sources and media, such as social media, forums, and news article talkbacks in order to create a picture of employee satisfaction and identify potential leakers. It not only identified the company employees who leaked the critical information, thus helping the client mitigate the risk as far as possible, which means fired them, but also discovered employee criticism of management, information that the client found very useful in planning its managerial strategy, obviously, for the future. This right here is so big brother, you guys. I don't know, because if this company can come in and give you guys and get this kind of information and do data processing, and you got McKinsey and Company that will run the data for you, you got Carbon Black that will have your cybersecurity for you. I bet they're all connected. They're all connected. And then you've got these guys to come in and litigate for you. You will never, ever get ahead with this. So if you're the employee that hates your job and you're in a big corporation, they come in and find that out and just fire you. Don't think that they can't. So that is why I named this The Eye in the Sky, because it talks about that. Now, I think this song came out on it came out on the actual, it was named Eye in the Sky. I think it was the same name of the album, but it kind of reminded me of Turn of a Friendly Card album. I did put you on spot number 1. I did it immediately. As soon as I saw that you said that. You're on spot number 1. So I pulled up the lyrics for Eye in the Sky because I just thought it was interesting what he says. Don't say words you're going to regret. Don't let the fire rush to your head. I've heard the accusation before. I ain't going to take any more. Believe me, the sun is in your eyes, made some of the lies worth believing. I'm the eye in the sky, looking at you. I can read your mind. I'm the maker of rules, dealing with fools. I can cheat you blind. Anyway, you guys can, I loved Alan Parsons. I still kind of do like Alan Parsons. And, yeah, you guys, I want to tell you something else. I think that we need to really think about what we believe our rights are. And we need to maybe consider that we might be coming to a time where we don't have those rights anymore. Because I look at what's going on with this situation, with this obituary from the kid that I told you guys about the other day. And I had the idea that maybe they wanted us to look for this obituary. They wanted us to find it because they've got us now as terrorists. And now if I'm terrorizing this guy's family, this poor guy who died in 2014, who suddenly isn't the same guy because, they put in a middle name when they didn't have one. And, people on Instagram must think I'm stupid, but they said it's a different middle name. And I said, there's no middle name when I first began looking. There was no middle name assigned to this guy, or else I would have looked at that, because that's one of the first things I look at when I look at things up. I look for everything. I look for 2 middle names. I look for 3 middle names. I look for dang birth certificates, guys. So I look for death certificates, guys. So I'm not dumb. I do look these things up. So I don't care if they made up a different middle name. It's the same guy they have in the image of this guy that supposedly is now against all gods and a Satanist. For all I know, they took his head on this and put his body, and they wanted us to find that because, by the way, yes, I'll do my P.O. box. By the way, if they say that we're terrorists, and then I terrorize this poor kid's family who is dead, and they're going to say this is not the same guy, well, now I'm a terrorist, guys. So the reason I say that is because I'm still going to keep doing what I'm doing because I'm called to do it. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm on Discord. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing because I'm called to do it. And we might lose our rights, guys. We might go to prison or jail or just have our internet taken away or become slaves again. This has all happened before. And when you look at just how unjust it was, what happened to Jesus Christ, it was so completely unjust. The whole thing is so unbelievable. And yet, it was the very thing that we needed, even in the very moment. So I'm telling you this, guys, because I don't want you to be scared. I want you to know that the Bible taught us to have peace and joy no matter our situation, no matter what it is. No matter what it is. Oh, yeah, I can. Yes, Matt, I can do that when I'm done. So no matter what it is, if I'm in jail, if my kids are taken from me, if people in my family die, or if I'm dead, I won't be thinking about it like that. But guys, I'm still going to try to find the best way to love my life and have peace and joy in some way, because we know it can be done, because Paul was singing from prison. So anyway, I want you to notice that up here in the URL, it spells Connor, C-O-N-N-E-R, but in the article it spells Connor, C-O-N-N-O-R. Very likely they wanted us to find this stuff and make us look like crazy people and say that we're terrorizing this poor kid's family, when really they are terrorizing this poor kid's family. So there's a video on here, a memorial video. If you click on this link and you want to watch that video, it's pretty long. I put it in double time, but I tried to look for anything significant, and I really didn't see anything except for the fact that the kid looks just like this kid looks just like, and this not in this picture, right? Everybody's, oh, I just see some chubby kid. Yeah, when he was a kid, but there's definitely pictures of him older that look like this guy. So doesn't matter. We'll never get the truth, really. But I brought it up again just to show you that this obituary is now gone. It's not there anymore. And so I did report on this on Sunday night. And I want to say one more thing. I reported on this on Sunday night too, that the U.S. federal court exposes the Democratic Party conspiracy against Assange and WikiLeaks. I don't read articles like all the way through to you guys. I think it's a lot to read through these articles, but I covered this, and then I sent this on to people I knew had a larger reach than me, and I knew how to find those people in what groups. And I don't need any credit because I didn't write the article. I only found it. And I found it, Sunday was the 3rd, right? And this was reported the 1st, or July 31st is another day I saw it reported. I found an article, I didn't write it, I wasn't there. All I did was find it. I don't even remember how I found it, but I find stuff. Now, here's the thing. I shared this with people, and I said, you don't have to give me credit. One person said, of course I'm going to give you credit. It's fine, whatever. The other group I shared it with, somebody who has a large reach, and it doesn't matter who, but I'm just venting because I only have like a few real followers anyway, which I really am grateful for. And so somebody that was bigger and has a lot more followers put this up and talked about it as if this person had found it themselves. And I'm telling you, I don't think that's the case, because I'm pretty sure that person is in the group I shared it with. And I don't think I would have ever wanted any credit, except for I was a little bit peeved that credit was giving to a couple other people for other articles that were reported on, and not this one. So the only reason I say this, guys, is unfortunately, even in this truther community, there are people that are just in it for the likes. They're just in it for some, like, an ego. And I pray for them, because definitely pray for me too, because it's not my right to sit here and be mad about something like that. I shared it. It's not my article. I didn't write it. And just because I found it first doesn't give me any kind of ability above and beyond anybody else. But I was a little bit peeved about that. So pray that I would just forget about it. Like, I want these things to just wash off me, right? Because so many people were digging so hard into these other shooters. And yeah, I found some information, but I didn't dig that hard, and nobody saw this. Because what they did is they put their mind on one thing and one thing only. And then they thought that's what they needed to do, even though people know. They know, look over here, not over there. They know that. So why are people getting stuck looking into these shooters? Forget it. Forget who they are. It doesn't even matter, because we're not even going to know anyway. This is where it just goes into la la land, guys. It just goes nowhere. It goes nowhere who these shooters are. Doesn't matter. This poor kid has a family. Whether he is really dead or not to his family, he probably is. Probably is. And so we do not need to go digging up any more on these people. Either truth to light or not. I just got to pray for it, because digging into these people could be one more step into trouble for some of us, because it's a conspiracy. Okay, guys, I know it's frustrating. I know we don't want to accept it because it's upsetting, but we don't even know why we have as many rights as we do, except for it's all we've ever known. There are people that have had way less rights than us and still do. So it's all we've ever known. We have to know that there's just some boundaries we don't need to cross. And I am very much a rebel, and I have to be so careful with this, because I am just like that, where I'm going to go, you can't stop me. And yet I don't need to get into stupid trouble over it. So I'm going to stick to what I can know, and what I can know is this right here, because I see it. There's a whole article. I'm not going to read the whole thing to you, but it's incredibly important, guys. This is huge, huge, huge. Okay? what else I know is some of this stuff on the black cube that is still just speculation, and I always say that. I'm going to put a video up, and I pray that you hear what you're supposed to hear and nothing else. And if the rest is not worth listening to or hearing or understanding, I want that to be the case. So I'm going to get off of here because it's just going to be a short one tonight. And I know I kind of went on my soapbox, but this is for God, not for me, guys. Any soapbox I'm on, I hope is his soapbox. I'm going to work on this script. I've got it probably a quarter done. I want to get this out by Friday because this is good information. And I think you're going to enjoy it. And whether it's true or not, it's good to think about these things and roll them around in your mind and to say, okay, I'm just going to either file that or I'm going to look into it more. I don't give you guys everything because you guys are researchers too. So here we are. We're friends, we're researchers, and we're children of God, and we put our faith in God. And so I pray for you guys. I pray for myself, and I pray for my family. I pray protection, the full armor, because the armor is a spiritual armor. So I'm glad you hear me. I don't think I asked if you could hear me, but good. I'm always happy to know that you can. And I will give you guys one more bit of silver news. One thing I wanted to say, which I think was amazing, and I think I saw one of the pastors I watched say it, but speaking on money, like the dollar or silver or any of it, it's never supposed to be our master, right? So when it comes to these likes on YouTube and likes on Twitter and all these things, none of these things are to be our master, but to be our servants. We are not slaves to anything of this world. Not money, not Twitter, not likes, not friends. We don't need all of that. We just need this a few things. We can want a lot of things, but we just need a few things. So I think silver and gold are a good thing to exchange your dollars in for, only because I've seen it change my life. Yeah, there's always a delay. It's like, unfortunately, like 30 seconds. I tried to lessen it, but I still think it's like 15 to 20. But none of these things are our God. They're not. We don't idolize anything of this world. We idolize and worship the one true God in heaven, Jesus Christ, and the Holy Spirit. So while I say get gold and silver, I'm only saying that because I've seen it help me improve my money circumstances, drop my debt problems, and it's brought me truth that I never could have imagined without it. I didn't even know the truth about money. And once I learned the truth about money, I wanted to learn. I got you on number one, Matt. Unless you didn't. Yeah, I got you on number one. But I don't know. Maybe you guys can't hear me. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, I hope you can, because I just said a lot of stuff. But one thing I'll tell you guys is they're going to make the mark of the beast hard to say no to. They're going to pressure you because of you only be able to buy and sell with it, but it will not be required. Do not comply. So I recommend you guys consider going to my Patreon. I recommend you guys really consider going to my 7K Metals website and getting signed up to buy some gold and silver. I will help you do that. I help everybody who wants help. So oh, you guys can't see. I don't know if you guys can't see. Yeah, my screen shows that you should be able to see what I got here. Well, anyway, I've got links to everything. Whoever wants them can have them. And I'm going to go ahead and get to writing my script. God bless you all. Thank you for your prayers. You have no idea how. I just knew the prayer. I felt it. I'm like, I just need to ask these guys for prayer. Because it seemed small. Like maybe I was jumping the gun. Maybe I was getting a little upset about my computer not working last night. And I'm like, maybe I just being a little crazy, but you know what? Who cares, guys? Because I had a lot of people give me prayer, and the computer worked this morning, so I'm going to ask for prayer all the time, probably, for that reason. So here I am really going. I'm going to pray for you guys. I always do, full armor, and thank you for your prayers. I am grateful beyond measure, and thanks for listening to me as I, berate my children for not doing what they said they were supposed to do. And if you recommend that it be something that you don't want to hear, and maybe I'll just do it anyway, I'll turn off the microphone next time. But apologies, sort of. Not sorry. So God bless you guys. I am grateful to you. I want you to continue praying for all of the listeners, and for me, and for yourselves, of course, and for anyone that we just want to. Oh, yeah, there's a huge delay. I can see that now. Wow. Well, I'm sorry, guys. It is a huge delay. And I'll tell you what, the reason that's happening is because I think the slowing down on my computer. It is, yes, it's a ginormous delay. And so I'll have to try to fix that next time. So anyway, yeah, there's a huge delay. It's not even matching probably my words with the video, but that's fine. Whatever. Ugh. Well, you know, I love you guys, and I'm just gonna not stress about any of this stuff, and I'm gonna go write my yeah, the video's not matching. It's fine. It's a huge delay for some reason, but I'm gonna go write up my, like I said, I'm gonna go write up my script. I can't even talk anymore. So it's time to go. God bless. Prayers, and I will see you guys Thursday night for sure, and probably will upload this video Friday. So God bless and good night.